Well, hello everyone, it's KC3UNI, and this video will be on scanning your channels, skipping your channels, and scanning only specific channels, and setting the receive operation. Alright, well, the first thing you want to do on your amazing and awesome FT-70D is hold down F and menu number 52. Hit F again. Now, your original settings here, your first options, would be your delay time. So, you get a station, you get traffic, and the scanning stops, and it stays on that station for up to 10 seconds, and then it resumes automatically. Busy basically means it stays on that channel indefinitely until the traffic stops. So if a conversation lasts 5 minutes, this will stay on that channel for 5 minutes. And then, of course, hold means as soon as it detects traffic, it will stay on that and scanning will end, and you will have to manually resume scanning by hitting F2 again. I like busy. That way I have my busy channel lockout enabled, so I can just hit the PTT button and it locks me on that channel without interrupting the stations that are having a QSO. And so busy, in my opinion, is the best option, but just make sure that you have your busy channel lockout enabled. All right, so now that we have established that, now we are going to hit F2 and begin our scan. So now we are scanning, and I have, I believe, 109 channels in here. This radio I used to take with me, keep in my pocket, and with my FTM200, and if I had to get out of the truck, I could usually maintain that same channel. And I had a lot of Wires X repeaters in here, but of course I don't travel in those areas anymore, so but the stations that I have set are still in here. So anyway, I'm scanning. All right, now let's stop the scan and let's imagine for a moment that on channel 77 here we have a lot of static, or we have a QSO that we don't want to listen to a QSO. We just want to continue on. Well, how would we skip that channel? Well, you would hit F and then hit 9. F and then 9. And it says right above 9, you just can't see it, it says skip. So you see above number 77 here we have a sideways triangle. Well, that indicates that this channel will now be skipped. So the best way to show how this is done is I'll just go through the 70 channels, and I'm going to hit F9. That's what I'm doing. I'm hitting F9 one time, F and then 9, and you see how all of the 70s numbers are now beginning to have an arrow above them. Sideways triangle. Now, why am I doing this? Well, because this radio scans so fast that if I only did one channel, it would be hard to show you that it is actually skipping. So I'm just going to go all the way, and as you can see, skip all of the 70s. All right? Okay, now I'm going to hit F2. F2. And now you'll see it'll skip 70 altogether. It'll go from 60 to 80. It scans pretty fast. Okay, so now you've just successfully not deleted, but skipped, a group of channels, 8 channels, I believe it is. And that's how you do that. And you can do that all the way across the board. You can go to 20, and you can hit F9, and now 20 will be skipped. Now, you do have to painstakingly, yes, go back and hit it twice, and I'll explain why in a second. Because if you don't, you're going to go into scan only mode. So as you can see, if I hit F9 again, now it's blinking. but we'll get into that. All right, so I'm gonna, now you have to go through each channel and hit F9 twice in order to remove the indicator, because it's there now. Hitting F9 makes it blink, hitting F9 again makes it disappear, and so that's what you have to do, and so that's what we're going to do. I know that I'm really dragging this out, but it is important that I do this. Okay, so we are just about ready to have all of our 70 channels back for scanning. Now you see, when you're running skip mode, you see what you have to do? You have to go in and manually uncheck the indicator by F9 twice. That's what you have to do. You can't, there's no reverse to it. You must hit F9 again, and then you have to hit it twice in order for the indicator to go away. All right, so now we're good to go. We can hit scan again, and of course now you'll see that the 70s will show up. All right, so now we have all of our channels back. Now we're in an area where, say this area here where I had all these wires X repeaters. We'll start at, let's see here, how many do I have? Yeah, we'll just start in the 90s. Okay, now let's say, for just what's and giggles here, that I have a bunch of wires X repeaters that I'm going to be around during the day. Or any, quite frankly, any, but we'll just say we'll start at the 60s. How about that? We won't get into the wires X. So in this specific area, there are 5 repeaters that I want to monitor. I'm going to be in this area for a few hours, and I want to monitor just a set of repeaters, and I don't feel like going through all I don't feel like going through all of these channels, you know what I mean? And because quite frankly, I'm only in an area where I know I'm only going to be receiving traffic from, say, 5 repeaters. So we'll go back up to 60. And we'll start at 60. And now we're going to hit F9 twice. Because if we hit it once, see, it gives us the skip. We don't want that. We're going to hit it again. And now it's blinking. The blinking sideways triangle indicates that this channel will be a scan-only channel. And I'll show you that in a second. So we're going to go to 61, hit F9 twice, so that it's blinking. We're going to go to 62, F9 twice, 63, F9 twice, because we want to get the blinking sideways triangle. All right, so now I have the theoretical 5 repeaters, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. I now have them set as scan only. Now, the cool part about it is I don't have to go back and manually uncheck like I had to when I had scan skipping, right? Because when you skip, you're deleting. But when you're adding scan only channels, all you're doing is specifying a specific group of channels that you want to be scanned only. Well, if you start off of a channel that is not blinking, so let's start at 66. Watch what happens. F2. Well, look at that. And as you can see, you saw there for a second how you saw the sideways triangle. Well, that's an indicator to you that those channels that you assign specifically for scan only are being scanned within the full scan, right? Pretty cool. I mean, you don't want to delete them. You just want them in sort of a specific group that can be scanned only. You might go back to that area tomorrow. So now, watch what happens when we start at 60, not 59, And of course, not at 66. We have to start anywhere in here. It doesn't matter where. Anywhere where there is a blinking sideways triangle, you can initiate your scan. Now let's watch what happens. F2. Amazing. Now just those 5 channels are being scanned. Brilliant. So, of course, all your other channels are still available to be scanned, but because you started your scan in a group of channels that you designated to be scan only, no matter which one, because you can start from any one of these numbers. You could start in 61 and hit F2, and it'll stay in those 5, or you could stop and you could start at 65 and hit F2, and it will stay just in those. But the moment that you start at 66, now you've basically told the radio, I want to scan all channels, including the specified channels. That's why I love this radio. It is so awesome. So I hope that helped. I hope that gave you a little bit more clarification. I think some of the videos out there are great videos, but I have not seen one about this. So hopefully this gets shared, because this function is absolutely really cool. I mean, I know there's all kinds of radios that have all kinds of cool stuff, but I love the FT-70D. I want to get more of them. So that's that, and that's how you scan, only, skip, and of course what you want to pick as your delay time. 7 3s.